on The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990. Now back to America in the Morning.
Here's Business Spotlight from your local voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990. And here's your host, George Bryant.
Good morning and welcome to Tuesday. Tuesday is the morning we get to do our Business Spotlight on one of our great local partners, Triumph Bank. And in the studios this morning, we have Tracy Strickland and her special guest, John Bobango. Love it, John. Love to have you here. And yes. Tracy, welcome.
Welcome. Good morning. Beautiful sunny day.
It is a sunny day. It's a great day. And we really have covered a lot of great things doing this series with Triumph Bank and seeing what a great local business partner they are, giving back in the community. And you guys are doing something really great. I'm so excited. That's coming up October 3rd.
It is. Right? Our Business Triumphs event. We've talked about it the past couple of weeks. We've been working on this event for probably about 9 months. Britt Boatwright, our Chief Banking Officer, and I were thinking about ways that we could extend our reach into the community and let more people know how Triumph serves the business community. We work with business owners every single day to help them reach their financial goals. And we wanted to put an event in place that would allow the experts in our city be able to share their expertise, their experiences, their backgrounds that they've had with working with business owners. This particular event is focused on a particular time in that business cycle, which is selling their businesses. But a lot of people also are thinking about buying businesses as well. So I wanted to have one of our panelists. We're having a keynote speaker come in from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He's actually going to be on in 2 weeks with us. But I wanted to feature some of our panelists come in so that our listeners could just get to know them more personally, and then look forward to the event. And you can register on our event at triumphbank.com. But today I'm really excited to have John Bobango. We've known each other for a long, long time, even before I got to Triumph. He is one of our board members. He's also the chief manager of Farris Bobango. 20 years ago, he served on the Memphis City Council. So he's very well connected in our city and in the business community. And, I've never even asked John this until we were talking yesterday, but I'd love for number one, welcome, John. But number two, share a little bit about your background, how you got to Memphis, and really how you got involved in this side of law and the corporate side and the mergers and acquisition side.
Well, back in the beginning, my dad was in the military, and I lived and grew up in California, San Francisco, then Hawaii, and then he retired out of Millington. And so that's what moved us to this area. And I had some relatives in Arkansas and Memphis, so my mom and dad decided to come back and retire here for a short time, and the thought was we'd stay here 6 months and move back to California. Well, 6 months has become a lifetime, and here I am.
Glad about it.
So anyway, that's how we got here, and then ended up going to Arkansas State undergrad, and then went to University of Memphis Law School, and I got more out of law school than most people. I met my lovely wife, Lisa, and she and I graduated, and she and I both went to University of Florida, and she got a business degree, and I received my master's in tax. And thereafter, we went to Arkansas, worked at Arkansas for about 2.5 years. And over there, just traveled, was with a really good firm that did a lot of business transactions and traveled all over the country. And probably every other week, I was in New York, Boston, Chicago, L.A., San Francisco, working on business deals. And did not know very much of anything, but learned a lot and listened. And so then Lisa got recruited by then Union Planners Investment Bankers Group in 1987. And we moved back to Memphis then and been here ever since. And so because of the transactions I was working on was heavy documentation, not just a bill of sale or a one agreement, two agreements. They usually contain 10 to 25 agreements. You have to understand how to manage the process and what agreements you need and how to negotiate different terms. And I'm sure somewhere along the line about 25 years ago, I had a client that wanted to buy a business or sell a business. And so we transition into doing a lot of M&A type work. And the tax degree really helps because when you're buying and selling, there's always tax issues that come up and how to properly structure a transaction in the beginning. So that's how we got into doing a lot of M&A transactions and for different clients, different sizes, individuals or corporations, where they're making specific acquisitions strategically or just someone who wants to sell a business that they started from the beginning and now's the time to exit and sell.
We're talking with John Bobango. He's chief manager of Farris Bobango Law Firm right here in Memphis. Tracy Strickland is our host today with Triumph Bank. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the exciting Business Triumphs seminar or workshop that's going on October 3rd, and some more about John telling us about how to sell your business. You're listening to The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
KWAM, now on FM 107.9 and AM 990.
The Memphis Daily News Report, credible, reliable, always unbiased. The Daily News. Load Properties wants to add a 24,100-room boutique hotel in the district. The Midtown project would be built on the west side of Cooper Street between Hattaloo Theater and Bar Louie. Plans also call for a rooftop restaurant and structured parking. Once operational, the hotel would employ 65 people. A Canadian elevator company that wants to build a manufacturing plant in Hickory Hill as it expands its U.S. customer base. Ontario-based AVT Beckett Elevators USA Inc. is seeking a 10-year fast-track pilot for a 100,000 square foot facility. The AVT operation calls for a $3.5 million capital investment, including $3 million in equipment costs, and would employ 25 people. Chattanooga-based rock climbing gym High Point Climbing and Fitness plan for a Memphis facility has received approval from the Shelby County Land Use Control Board. High Point plans to erect a 32,000 square foot rock climbing facility on land that backs up to CBHS athletic fields. For these stories and more, make sure you pick up a copy of the Daily News Report. You'll find it everywhere around Memphis, and you can read the online edition at memphisdailynews.com.
Do you have obstructive sleep apnea? Are you tired of feeling tired all the time? If you've tried CPAP and found it uncomfortable, cumbersome, awkward, noisy, or unappealing to your partner, please listen carefully to this message. Obstructive sleep apnea robs you of the deep, uninterrupted sleep you need, making every day a struggle. But if you have it, like millions of adults do, you already know this, and you are not alone. Many of those prescribed CPAP either stop using it or use it less than they should. The reality is that leaving OSA untreated puts you at greater risk for heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and other serious health consequences. However, there is an alternative therapy in an FDA-approved clinical trial. The THN sleep therapy system might be the answer for you. It is available at no cost to you if you qualify for the THN3 clinical trial. To learn more about the THN3 clinical trial, please call 1-888-975-3370 or visit thnstudy.com to find a center near you.
And now back to Business Spotlight on The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Welcome back to our studios on this beautiful Tuesday morning, and we got a special guest and host in the house, Tracy Strickland. Tracy, welcome back.
Thanks, George.
Always great when we get together on Tuesdays and talk about the thing that I've been really excited about is talking about Triumph Bank, sort of peeling it back, getting to know the personality, and what a unique bank. Giving back to the community is really good, but you guys are on the cutting edge of technology for your customers. You've always got cool things like give away ice cream going on, and now you're also giving back this incredible opportunity for people who maybe own a business and looking to exit or possibly buying a business. You've pulled together this incredible, impressive panel.
It's an incredible panel. We're planning on having this event every year, and I'm not sure how we could beat the level of expertise and power behind this. It is free, and that's even awesome. Better. Don't forget, you can just go to our website, triumphbank.com. It's the first header that's right there in green. Just click on there and just sign up for free, and we'll look forward to seeing you at 3:30 at the FedEx Institute of Technology. But as we talk with John and just listening to his background, he has worked with businesses all over this city, probably has put together some of the more important deals that most of us have heard of, and some of the little known ones as well. But really what we talk about in this event is the importance of having a team of advisors around a business owner during this most important transition process in their business. And in talking with John, there's a time aspect where that business owner is considering selling his or her business. And John, would you speak to the timing as like really what is the best time for that business owner to reach out and call you or any other like mergers and acquisitions attorney to get you involved in that process?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd like to say that they should call me or call their attorney when they form a company, because I think from day one you have to have an end result in mind. And I think you manage your company and towards what your end result is. And I think each step is really important. So if you don't do it on the front end, I think at least if you're thinking about selling your business, you should call your advisor and your attorney CPAs at least 6 months before you decide you really want to do something, because you've got to prepare for it, and it's part of organization. In any life cycle of a deal, you're going to have if it's depending on the size of it, you may have a banker come in and talk to you about what you need to do, put together an offering book, and take it out and show it to 20, 30, 40 different types of interested parties, private equity groups, strategic partners, and that takes a long time, and it's a process. So I think you've really got to manage expectations on both sides, and then also you just have to pull information together because there's an extensive due diligence process, and the more the company looks organized, we have all your contracts together, you have your financials in place and they're organized. Just everything that's more organized is going to make the potential buyer know that you're organized and you've done things right and efficiently along the way. But if they come in and everything's just kind of a mess and you can't find this contract or that contract, it doesn't go very smoothly. So I think the presentation and the organization is really critical, and I think your CPA and your attorney can get involved and help you go through that process and get ready for the sale, and then you actually go through the selling process.
It doesn't matter what size business, big or small, that you need to prepare like that?
Oh, that absolutely. It doesn't matter what size. And it doesn't matter if you're trying to buy a business or sell your business, if it's $500,000 or $1 million or $100 million. The time aspects may be a little different, and the extent of the due diligence will be different. But still, you have the same concerns and issues, because if you're selling a business, you want to make sure and monetize what you've put into it for as much money as you can get out of it. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what size.
And it could be you're working with those business owners that are looking to sell, and it could be to a private equity group. It could be moving it through a transition with family. How would you approach those differently?
They are different, because a private equity group, you're going to probably, they get involved and analyze, review the transaction, you're probably going to get all your money cash up front with some holdback in escrow for a period of time that's negotiated to have an offset for any indemnification because of reputations and warranties that they'll ask for. In a family sale, you have the same situation, but in a family member situation, you're probably going to be using future earnings to pay off the seller with earnings of the company over the next probably 4, 5, 6, 8 years. And so you have more risk involved, because you're not getting all your money up front, so you still have the risk of the business doing well over the next 4 or 8 years until the financing's paid off. Right. So you have those types of issues that are involved, plus you just have the family issues that are involved if you're working together, if you're trying to sell from one party to another.
Right. I was wondering, the people who, like, they've lived their business, they birthed the business, and then they see it might be a son, it could be a brother, they're passing it on to, and just the nerves of making sure that they're going to run the business in the same way that they did. Of course, that probably never happens, but you always hope that that transition goes as smoothly as possible, right?
Yeah, you do, and I think, Tracy, you bring up a good point. When a business owner started a business, it's like really raising a family, and after 20 years, 30 years, you really don't want to let go, and you don't. It's just human nature, but you have to get to that transition point where you have to let go and move on. And I think if you sell to a third party, it's easier to let go, because that third party is going to come in and take over. A private equity group is really betting on a management team. They're betting on the management team that you have in place. So either the owner's going to have to stay in for a number of years, or you have a management team that can succeed you because you've put them in place. Selling to a family member, you know what the transition is, and it may be harder to give up the company under those conditions because of your relationship with the family members, and you might still want to go back and forth each when issues come up.
We're talking with John Bobango, and he's the chief manager of Farris Bobango Law Firm right here in Memphis. And he's one of the panelists for the upcoming Business Triumphs on October 3rd that Triumph Bank is offering to the community at no charge. What a fascinating topic and interesting story. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to dig into it a little bit more right here on The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
The voice for the Mid-South, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
If you're looking for a commercial van to take your business to the next level, ask for more. The Ram ProMaster and ProMaster City vans were designed to do more. With the Ram ProMaster City, you can hold more with best-in-class cargo capacity, handle more with best-in-class payload, organize more with custom upfits, and get more out of every mile with unsurpassed fuel efficiency. Visit ramtrucks.com to make your business run stronger with a Ram ProMaster or ProMaster City commercial van. Based on small commercial van segment, Ram is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
How strong is Allegra D?
It's my congestion's out of my way strong. Even in the park playing with my dogs. Go fetch, Bosley.
Allegra D, a fast, non-drowsy antihistamine plus a powerful decongestant that starts relieving your toughest allergy symptoms in under 1 hour.
Allegra D is breathing free for 24 hours strong, even in the convertible.
Allegra D, strong relief for your allergy symptoms, guaranteed or your money back. Visit Allegra.com. Use only as directed.
And now back to Business Spotlight on The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Welcome back. Today we are turning our spotlight on Triumph Bank, one of our great business partners. And Tracy Strickland is our host in the house. Welcome back, Tracy.
Thanks, George. I'm so glad to have John. I could listen to him talk. I mean,
know.
we've known each other for so long, and just his expertise in this field. I mean, he's done a lot, and you've seen a lot. And I wanted you to speak, John, over the past 15 years. And you probably have seen a lot of changes in the mergers and acquisitions world, and some things that you're probably looking forward to seeing in the next 5 years. Could you speak to some of those changes that you're seeing with business owners?
I think there have been a lot of changes in the sense that, this is 2017, and if you go back just 30, 40 years or so when businesses were started and families got into the business, sometimes there's not that next generation to come in, or the companies continue to grow and grow. And so over the last 5 years, and I think probably for the next 10 years, you're going to see a lot of opportunities for exit strategies because of those businesses exiting. But also the financial markets, there's just so much money to be deployed. And so the markets are really hot, and private equity groups and other investment opportunities and strategic partners are looking for money because they're generating so much cash right now. They're looking to invest it. And so it's a good time to want to sell your business.
That's a great insight that you have. We talk a lot of times about how that Memphis is growing. Memphis is, what a great time in our city. But then a lot of times, I'm dealing with small businesses in the battleground, and they're going, oh man, what a tough month, So, sometimes, like I've noticed that this year, sometimes the, mid-year, we had some kind of a slowdown. The car business, everybody, it's like they said everybody went on vacation, quit spending money. But the big picture is what we need to be looking at, right? I mean, we're in a good time.
Oh, I think we are.
Yeah.
And the reach is, there's a lot of companies that are based in Memphis that are making acquisitions in Georgia, Arizona, Texas, Ohio, just all over. And so there's a big reach. And they say the world's getting smaller, and it is, but at the same time, businesses in Memphis are expanding not just inside Shelby County and Tennessee, but also in the Mid-South and other states.
Right.
So there's lots of opportunities. I think the one thing that is specific, and it really depends on the size of the deal, and of course, On a large transaction, when you get past the letter of intent and you negotiate the purchase agreement, either an asset purchase agreement or a stock purchase agreement, there's a lot of tax issues that are developed, and you've got to really understand them. And so the structure of the transaction is really critical for the buyer and for the seller. And then once you get beyond that point, you're negotiating reputations and warranties and your indemnity. Well, on large transactions or small transactions, you're going to have some type of holdback, and money's put in escrow. And the bigger the deal, the bigger the percentage. So what's really, I think, transpired in the last 5 years is insurance for reputations and warranties. And so where the buyer or the seller will buy an insurance policy, and the insurance company comes in, underwrites the deal, the reputations and warranties in the deal itself, and they'll take the risk if there's a breach rather than the seller taking the risk if there's a breach. And that's being used a lot more in a lot of transactions in larger deals. You won't have that because the cost efficiencies of something for $5 million or $10 million, but when you're seeing transactions anywhere probably from $50 million, $100 million to larger deals, you're going to see insurance used a lot more, and it's used. And I think what that's going to do is, as the market matures, they may have the policies to where in the next 5 years you may see those policies helping smaller transactions get done because now the seller doesn't have to put money at risk.
Mm-hmm. Fascinating conversation. And our listeners, I know, are just going, oh, man, this is great. Well, you can get more at the October 3rd.
Absolutely.
We're going to do a incredible business triumphs. And Tracy, how do people get signed up for that now?
If you go to triumphbank.com, there is a header at the top that advertises the event. Just click that link. There's a very short form that we just want all the registrations online. The events, the FedEx Institute of Technology in the Zone room, which is this amazing room on the campus of the University of Memphis, right off of Innovation Drive off Central, across from the Holiday Inn, right over there.
Incredible place.
We start at 3:30. Come a few minutes early and get signed in. You'll hear from Rob Wolf, who is an expert in exit strategies coming in from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And then we'll open it up and have a panel discussion with John Ship Marston, Jeff Meskin, who's coming in from New York. He's with one of the private equity firms. He works with Brown Brothers, Harriman. We had a conference call yesterday with the speakers, and his knowledge is incredible on that aspect, so he'll be talking about that, and Mitchell Spurlock as well. So we've got just an all-star panel, and then we'll have a wine and beer reception after, and then you can ask some personal questions to John if you've got a business that you're needing his counsel on. So.
It's a great panel, and
yes.
Come and listen, and I promise you won't have to listen to an attorney talk all the time. We got some really good businessmen who've been through this process,
and Mike Bruns, yes,
and so and Mitchell Spurlock, and I mean just a really good group and a lot of experience with the people that have been in the trenches and have bought and sold companies.
That's right.
It's incredible. John Bobango, thank you so much for coming in, and Tracy, always great. These Tuesdays are fabulous. Tune in next week. We'll be back with Let's Talk Growth with Triumph Bank. Thank you, John. Thank you, Tracy. You're listening to The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.